I don't have my notebook. I don't have my phone.
We will be joining shortly.
Let's do this.
Here we go.
Dude.
We're
Hi, you
back.
guys.
We're back.
That was a race to the finish just now, let me tell you. Getting everyone out of the bath, jammies on and into bed by 8:15. And, maybe a couple minutes passed. We try to do it. We try to get it done. And here we are.
Here we are.
Having a grand old time.
Grand old time. Getting everything last second in.
I know.
But I'm
Here we
glad
go.
you're here.
Got our podcast
The
agenda.
cameras are kind of set up. And if you're watching from live Instagram, let you guys know there is a little bit of a delay. There is.
But hi. We're glad you're here.
Today we have a fun afterthoughts for you because if you were here on Tuesday watching us live and you heard us talk about Jurassic Park, guess what dropped that night?
The trailer for Jurassic Park.
The trailer. Yeah.
New one.
We're stoked.
Stoked.
We're beanie bros right now.
Oh my gosh. Why we talked about this? You always match me.
No, it's not match. This time it's not
You
having to
always
do with matching. It
copy
just has
me.
to do with we just like beanies. We're a beanie family.
We're two beanie babes.
Beanie babes. And a shower thought for you. Trujillos can't wear white.
What? Why?
Tell them why.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh. Yeah.
Story time.
Story time. Wait, did we not tell this story of the day that you wore this
Told
beanie?
this to your sister, but
I didn't know you were going to wear this on the air. People are going to know who we are, where we work, and where we live.
represent.
So, yeah. Trujillos, you can't wear white. It was like, this is the story.
So this so you guys can see this is a white sweatshirt.
Sweatshirt.
Sure.
The day that you got that sweatshirt, you put it on, so excited, loved it. You're like, this looks sick, this looks dope, so great. And all I heard from you all day long, every single time I was near you, which was like quite a bit that day, all I heard was like, oh, dang it. Or like, oh, of course. And like every time you were like spilling something and staining your brand new white sweatshirt.
Exactly. It's like we can't have nice things. And so it's like one of those things where the
Yeah.
second I try to look fly when white, it's like I literally just look at my hands. I'm like, why?
Why would you wear white?
I have also a hole in my lip, so that doesn't help when I eat and everything. But
So that was the day where you were trying to pour over into your
I
mug.
poured over so many times.
And you
Perfect.
never
had an issue.
had an issue. In this day, when you're wearing white,
On this day.
you're pouring it and you go to set it down and the entire pour over carafe falls out of your hand and goes up onto your sweatshirt.
That is the way the Trujillos. We spill, we make messes, and you can't control us.
Nothing you can do.
What
Well,
can you do?
that was a good like intro.
Intro.
This is our episode of Afterthoughts, you guys. So I know what you're thinking. Who could possibly care what we have to say for this much content? 2 episodes a week? How is that possible? Well, believe it. Because we have
Yes.
enough to say to cover 2 episodes.
And this is the random thoughts of parents who are trying to YouTube and also parent. I'm a little tired.
Wow, you're so
I don't
tired.
have my normal coffee with me.
I know,
usually have a Diet Coke.
I didn't make any coffee today either. But I'm trying to cut down on how much caffeine,
That's why I got
as you
this,
guys know
gallon of water. I'm trying to drink more water.
from my decaf rants the other day. You
If
guys
Arizona
know
ever wants to sponsor us, by the way, please do.
it's good stuff. But yeah, I mean, I know that this is also like a long podcast. Don't feel bad if you pop in and then you're like, cool, bye, and you pop out. That's fine. I do that all the time. Not everybody has 45 minutes to spare. Obviously we do.
Yes.
But
We risk it for the biscuit.
What does that mean?
It means risking it for the biscuit. Like sea biscuit, risk
How
it.
are we risking for any type of biscuits?
We're risking our sleep. We're risking our
It's
sanity.
not a risk.
It's a risk.
I think
because
it's an
if we don't
improper use of the term risk it for the biscuit.
Risk it for the biscuit.
I think it's just we have a lot of extra time apparently, or / we give
don't-
up on other things in order because we
Like
think
our
that
home.
people are going to care a lot about what we have to say for like 180 minutes a week.
180. That's crazy. And we
It's
get
not. No.
120,
45, 90 minutes.
90 minutes.
45, 2 45-minute episodes.
So just take it in, drink it up, and
Enjoy
the view.
Here we go. Okay,
Yes.
so on Tuesday, this is the thing. We have so much to say because we talk on Tuesday and then we're like, oh my gosh, we should have said this. We should have said that. Tuesday, we talked for a good while about Jurassic Park and why we love it and how it's a part of our love story.
Ooh.
And then that night, boom, Jurassic Park
Jurassic.
trailer, the
I
new one.
literally called Lissa. Did you see?
Did you watch it?
Did you watch
I didn't even know there was going to be a new one coming out. We didn't even talk about that.
I know.
We had a whole conversation about Jurassic Park.
I did say at the very end. I said, "Do you know they're new?" We're like, "What? Really?" Yep. I said, "Yep."
I don't know anything about
Yes.
this. So
we're
I
doing
haven't
a live
seen it yet.
react.
Jeremiah watched it immediately, and I was like, "No, I haven't seen it." And then I never got around to it, and so we're gonna watch it.
Live.
And I'm gonna watch it right now for the first time.
First time. Here we go.
Dr. Henry Loomis, this is Zora Bennett. Our mission.
Oh my gosh, is that ScarJo?
What mission?
Wait, who was that?
This would be a medical breakthrough
Wait, no,
that
the
could
guy.
save countless lives.
Shut up. Wait, is that Johnny Bailey?
Who's Johnny Bailey?
Oh my god.
That's Fiero from Wicked.
No way.
I kid you not.
Exist in one isolated place. Can you be ready tomorrow?
I can guarantee your safety. I mean, more or less.
More or less?
He's so cute. That's hilarious.
He's your guy.
We're the best at moving things and people in and out of places they shouldn't be.
Wait, where is this in the timeline?
Move up towards Barbados.
That's a good question.
Avoid government patrol, but there aren't that many anymore.
Why's that?
No one's dumb enough to go where we're going.
Okay, so is this
I own
post
the research
world?
facility for the original Jurassic Park.
We need DNA from the 3 biggest dinosaurs.
Do we have to get a sample from an egg?
I
It's gonna get real.
From the parent, but they're a flying carnivore the size of an F-16.
Maybe we should make it quick.
No good.
That's actually probably not Johnny Bailey.
No, I think you're right. That is.
I mean,
These dinosaurs were too
It
big
looks-
for
it looks
the original
beautiful.
park.
Please don't say they're raptors.
The Raptors are back.
the
The worst
Raptors.
of the worst were left here.
The worst of the worst were left here, and of course a kid.
Wait for it.
You gotta bring in a. Kid. A new era.
Yes.
Running, shooting, cars.
We put ourselves.
Dilophosaurus!
I don't know what that is. Is that King Kong or something? I don't know.
Oh, the T-Rex is swimming!
Survival is a long shot.
That's
Oh, that is
definitely
him.
Fiero.
That's totally him.
What the hell are those?
They're helping the mosasaur defend territory, stalk, hunt.
None of what you just said is good.
Come on.
Mosasaurus!
Come on.
You're not gonna shoot a Mosasaurus, ScarJo.
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with this.
Okay. Oh, so it's Jurassic World. What is it? say?
Rebirth.
Rebirth. Okay. So, trailer looks epic. However, we've just moved on from the whole Chris Pratt era of Jurassic
I think
World.
we needed to move on. Like,
No,
the
it's
thing
fine. I'm just wondering, like, where are we in the timeline? Like, where did he go? Like, where are we? What's happening? That's what I don't know. And obviously, it's like past that timeline. It's not like a prequel or anything. It's like the dinosaurs are there. So I just am trying to figure out what, like, who are these people?
That's the interesting thing. It's a whole new. I like it because I felt like after Jurassic World, the last one, it kind of fell off, and the dinosaurs weren't as scary. And I feel like they're bringing the scare factor back.
Is it about the scare factor?
No, it's about like the thrill factor. Like, dinosaurs are dangerous, and you having a pet raptor is not a good look.
It's true. You know what? I did think that because I think that in the first 3 films, the first original 3 Jurassic Parks, those things were terrifying and there was no getting away. You're not going to like come face to face with a raptor and like talk about it. And that's why in the third one, at first, I was like, The first time I watched the third one, they have to give the egg back.
Yeah.
And the raptors like are surrounding them. And I was like, oh, like they should be dead already. Like
Yes.
raptors are crazy. And they like accepted the egg and then like, they were scared off.
Remember they scared off because they heard the tanks coming.
They scare it off. No.
Spoiler alert.
He did that. He did the sound in the little voice box. It was like, but so they were frightened away. But I was like, I just don't know if that tracks with like how I believed raptors to be. Anyway, and then Jurassic World, he's like training them, and then it's like he's talking to them, and then it's like your pet,
Yes.
and it just felt so like it's really good, but it's also like you can't have a raptor as a pet. Like
you can't have
way to take away the thrill of the
Yes.
most terrifying creature
100%.
to ever walk this earth, right?
Absolutely. I think that's what I'm excited for, and that's why I was like watching it. I'm like, I want to watch it on the big screen now, so you can see it with me with the volume.
Dude, and Johnny Bailey's in there. Love that guy.
So he. It's funny that he goes from playing a hunk to like a scientist, geeky
yeah,
kind
it's
of
kind of
guy,
cool.
like that stereotype
Yeah, yeah.
archaeologist. So it's like, oh, different facets.
Yeah, super interesting.
I like ScarJo as an actor. Hot take. People.
She's a
hate,
great actress.
Well, people hate on ScarJo.
For her acting or for her personal life?
Some of her roles. I don't know about her personal life, but some of her roles, people are like, they take her leave. But I think that she obviously has some skill.
You know what? Okay, I agree with that. I like Scarlett Johansson. I have never seen any Marvel films. Please don't come for me.
That's the next react. We're just gonna react to Marvel
God,
movies.
that sounds like misery. I have no interest in that. I really loved Black Panther. That was legit. I loved
That's
that
a
movie.
Marvel movie.
Yeah, so I've seen that one. Obviously, I've seen all the Spider-Men because hello.
Have you seen the newest one? You
Zendaya.
haven't seen all Homecoming? No.
Yeah,
No Way Home?
Yeah.
Or all of them? Andrew Garfield, all of them are in it?
Yes, I did
Okay,
see that
okay.
one. I saw that one in the theater
I was making
because
sure.
I love Zendaya and I love Tom Holland. Like I'm totally gonna watch
You're totally their marriage counselor.
that. God bless him. God bless him. And I call back. I love them. But I have not watched anything with Scarlett Johansson in it in years and years. She was the voice of the snake in the Jungle Book live action.
She was in Totoro.
She did the voice. She sings a song in the movie Sing.
So she actually has an album.
She has
low-key,
a good singing voice.
and they like remastered it and redid it because she didn't like it, and the person who had took it over and did some producing on it, and it actually sounds pretty good. So, ScarJo, shout out to you.
Yeah.
If you're trending,
She should sing in the movie with Johnny Bailey, and then they can dance.
they have a whole
through
musical
life.
number in there, and the
Yeah.
Raptors are dancing too.
The Raptors are in the back. Dancing through life here at
This
Jurassic.
is definitely off. Okay, so second thing we wanted to chat about, because dinosaurs are great and all. You know us, we'll go and go and go.
That's true. Let's wrap it up.
So about that, the second greatest thing is not greatest thing. I want to talk about two things
Okay.
about comparison. So there's comparison within spousal comparison, like in-home comparison to one another, like who works more, who does more.
Oh, comparing each of our efforts to each other,
Yes.
even though we have very different like contributions to the household.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And then I want to talk about, if you want to talk about that, but if you want, second thing I want to talk about is comparison of like, how do you deal with looking at other people's families and not compare?
Mm,
Or again, like, how do you fight that feeling
yeah.
that comes up naturally to everyone? Like,
Mm,
they look like they have it all together.
mm. That's a super good question. I mean, how did this topic of comparison come into your mind? I'm curious.
I remember we talked about how we don't have it all together.
Mm-hmm.
And we sometimes fall into Instagram, looking at social media, the people,
Oh yeah.
influencers, families. I don't know. I thought maybe or may not came up last time we talked, but it just got me thinking about that. Like, I need to stop saying like so much.
It's a good afterthought.
Yeah, it's a good afterthought.
It's a good afterthought because we have touched on it previously. I think those are both really good. And okay, to first of all touch on our relationship and how we can sometimes compare to each other. I think that it just comes down to like we just have to communicate about it. And like the thing you're in front of my Your back is in my show. The thing that we always. Who was that? River. The thing that we always do is we talk about communicate. We always talk about communication. Sorry, I lost there for a second.
No, yeah. So we talk about communication.
And I feel like just communicating about like our expectations for each other as well as our expectations for ourselves, and then just making sure those two line up. That's like the most important thing. And it changes with each season, which is why we bring it up to each other, because like we talked about how when we were both working, we had to be like, okay, what are we each contributing to our home and to our marriage and everything? And then I stopped working because I had a baby, and we had to then talk about, hey, in this season of me having a newborn, I'm going to be doing a lot less. I'm going to be keeping our baby alive. I'm not really going to be doing a whole lot of cooking and cleaning. I'm not bringing in an income. It's your time to shine, babe. And then switched over to, okay, baby's growing up. I'm not working. I'm staying home with the kid. How do the expectations change through each season? We talk about that a lot.
Yeah, and it gets, you have to get in a rhythm, because that's not normal. Like for us, it wasn't normal to we kind of let things bubble up and get at first when we were first married, and when my work would be super busy, when I would go stay at late at night if I was working in Ashley sales and doing a bunch of things. But the reality is when we started talking about the season, talking about, hey, I'm letting you know in the future, I'm going to be busy this week.
Mm-hmm.
It's Easter week or this or that.
Mm-hmm.
And so when we kind of navigated that in every season, we were able to like then take on that load, prepared ourselves to take on that load.
And we have to like continue to have those conversations, because sometimes we, especially recently, we're not going through a lot of like changes in season as far as like our kids are like kind of in these. The seasons are always changing with kids, but it's pretty constant. We don't have newborns, we're not currently potty training anybody. Like we're kind of just in this, like, I'm not working. I'm stay at home. You are.
Well, you are working. You're working at home. Like,
I am working at home.
I wouldn't say you're not, when that connotation that you're not working, that it can seem like you're not taking on a load, and you're taking on a load.
I have the biggest load.
You do. Yes, you do.
So. But I do like the idea. We've talked about this before of like being a stay-at-home mom is a full-time job, obviously. What you do is a full-time job. And so when we are each like at our respective jobs, we take on full 100% of that. And then when we are both home,
Clay, you remember Clay? Real quick.
I do.
Shout out Clay.
Hi, Clay.
Clay.
How's it going, man?
So Clay is a rad dude.
What are you, in college now?
No, he is. Okay, cool thing about Clay is this. He went from, we knew him from junior high. We're in junior high ministry 15 years ago, probably.
No, it was less than that.
Like 14, 13, 12 years ago.
It was not 12
Well, now
years
he's
ago.
a pilot, and he's flying all over the world, and he's like
No
legit.
way.
Clay is like very legit. So
Clay, thanks for
Clay,
joining us,
yeah,
man.
He's the homie.
He's the homie.
You know, he's it's cool to see his Instagram. He's like that pilot. You
It
follow?
wasn't 12 years ago, was it?
Was it 12 years?
No, it was like 2015.
I know. He's like, no way out now. You're locked
15.
in.
No way out now. 15, 14.
It's been like 12 years.
Were we married yet?
No, we were dating. I
so it's
literally
probably
told
like-
a story about the doorknob.
That was Clay.
That was not Clay.
Oh.
That was his brother.
Bite the doorknob.
But I literally told that story a while back. So
Go back in our archives and watch it. Met y'all in
2013.
2013. Yeah, because we weren't married yet.
yeah,
Just a couple of little lovebirds.
Little lovebirds.
Which is, 11, 12 years ago.
Yeah.
That's wild.
I was with like Justin, Zach.
I know. Shh. All right.
Like-
I wish you all the best, Clay. Wish you all the best.
Yes.
Amazing.
He was in middle school.
Aww.
Just a sweet babe.
Just a babe.
And now he's like full on legit.
Now he's like a cool pilot guy.
He's a cool pilot guy. Like we're cool. Like just to be able to know him. Like I'm.
Come take us out to lunch,
he
Clay.
commented on our.
Cut-
He did
Come on.
We'll talk about ministry scars or church hurt. Next.
Oh, he said that we invited him to our wedding, but he couldn't make it. All right, he doesn't want us to keep talking
Okay.
about him.
All
Just
right.
take us out to lunch. We'll take tri-tip.
Fly out.
Tri-tip
we'll
lunch.
Yes.
Okay, so we'll see you then. So, anyway, all that to say, coming back talking about comparison, talking about all
Yes.
that. So the thing is, we just have to keep talking about it and keep like communicating about it because expectations change over time. So that's where we're coming from because
Yeah.
we can't just assume, and like we're in this season of like things aren't changing super much, and so you can kind of get into a rut. But what we were saying was full-time job, me working a full-time job at home as a mom, and then you doing full-time job at your undisclosed location is that we come home. When you come home, then we are splitting the load. And it's not like, well, I was at work all day.
Yeah, we don't
And-
have a traditional way in that thinking. Like, again, we
Mhm.
agreed to that. Like, we agreed to it in the very beginning that I would take part in my effort at home.
Something's going on here.
Oh, look, it's like falling down.
Yeah. Something. Look at that.
Okay.
Like
Sorry.
crocheted by my mom.
Shout out to your mother.
Shout out to
Shout out to the mother. All that to say is we come together to agree we have a ghost.
There's a ghost in our house.
There's a ghost in
His
our
name
house.
is River. And he's knocking on the door.
River, go to bed.
Okay. This is derailing
This is
so
derailing
fast.
fast.
So this is the other thing I wanted.
No, it's real quick. I was gonna say is that we have agreed that in the past, like we're gonna do that because there are some marriages where the wife's like, "I got this, we got this taken on," but we equally need each other. Very much so.
We do. We've talked about, and we had that.
We're those type of
talk.
people. We're very dependent on each other. We're very, what's it called when you're like not needy but like codependent.
Are you though?
Are you though? Are you?
I don't know what you're trying to say.
We're both needy, and so being together, we have each other's needs in mind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a word with your son really quick.
Okay.
I'll be right back.
Right after, I wish you know what we need is right after these commercials. He's no, honey. So okay, I'm gonna carry us, y'all. So we have this issue with River right now, where he is a blanket sucker, a thumb sucker, and
We don't have to put him out on blast like that.
oh, sorry, we have a son that deals with sucking his thumb, and if you guys have any
He's fine.
tips, strategies of how to get rid of that, we tried the nail polish.
We have
tried bartering with him, like if you don't do it for a week, and
I said a month.
a month.
Anyway, we don't need to get into all that. It's an issue that we'll deal with
Yeah.
him. He doesn't need the whole world to know that he has a.
Well, they don't need the
thumb-sucking
whole
problem.
world. Poor
All-
River.
all-
Don't. Hey. He's
two of
not
our
as
viewers.
poor, Cyrus.
How?
Cyrus, he is not as poor.
Listen, all two of our viewers. He's fine. He's going to bed. It's okay. So let's bring it on back in. Let's underail this thing. Let's re-rail. Can we
Re-rail.
re-rail?
Well, that is that.
Let's
Re-
re-rail.
re-rail.
So what we're talking about here was the whole expectations for each other. But what I wanted to say was that our when it comes to comparing our family to other families,
Okay, yeah.
this is what's hard. Is like obviously it's hard not to. First of all, because of social media, seeing what everybody else is doing, seeing all these things that work for other people, just being in a community like a church community that we're in, where you're constantly around other moms, other dads, you see their kids, you see them weekly, multiple times a week. And so it's hard not to constantly be like, okay, what are you doing about this? What are you doing about that? How does my family look compared to your family? But the thing that helps me is I just try. I feel like I'll be right there.
Hey, shut the door, please.
I will be right there.
So this
Sweet
is
River. God
So
bless
I
them.
totally lost train of thought. I'm not even thinking about.
I'm
this
gonna
anymore.
finish what I'm saying. I'm gonna
Okay.
finish what I'm saying. Is that what I do when I get sort of trapped in the comparison thing? Is instead of comparing, I try to just have this like humility where I tell myself like, what can I learn? What can I learn? And I try to draw inspiration.
Mm.
So kind of like when you're scrolling Pinterest or whatever and you want to like find inspiration from others, I look at other families and I'm like, what's cool? What can I take? How can I learn? And what do I want to adopt from that? And what can I just let go of because that's not my season? You know what I mean?
I know what you mean.
Have you ever done that? Like seeing another family and like instead of just being like, oh, they do that better than me, to be like, I'm going to try that out.
I don't think about family stuff. I think like videographer and creative stuff and podcasts, like that side of things.
So you're saying you don't care about this family?
No, I think the biggest thing is our family. I'm pretty happy with our family. I'm pretty satisfied. And yeah, we make
You want to
mistakes.
know why you're happy here? Because I work so hard to make it as good as I
Exactly.
can.
No, I bet that's
by
the
drawing
reason.
inspiration from others and trying to like
Well, I
implement
think that's the
things.
beautiful thing is like we take in information and we don't, again, we're never saying we're right. We're doing the right way. We never stated that. We're saying this is what's working for us. We pick and choose. We see what people do and say, all right, we're going to implement it. And then do we fall back on some things? Absolutely. But what we change is we're good at receiving and changing, adapting.
Mhm.
That's what parenting is ultimately. You're adapting to the
That's all it
culture, you're
is.
adapting to your children's sinful nature, you're adapting to
Your
you know,
own
your
sinful
own
nature,
sinful
your
nature,
spouse's sinful
and
nature.
you're adapting to like you again. We're people too. Like I was just talking about that. How parents are people too, and we forget that we can lose our identity in being a parent rather than our own hopes and dreams. And that's why it's cool that we get to do this podcast because I think this is part of us, and that we get to bond and that we can grow outside of our parenting, but like with one another.
Mm-hmm.
And like you're my best friend, and I love you, and like it's cool that we get to do like video stuff together. There's not many couples that I look on YouTube and say like, where's the couple podcast? And they're not like flowing. There's not like a ton of couple podcasts out there.
Yeah.
And so like, that's why I wanted to start this up and say, hey, we are going to be unscripted. We're going to be unfiltered because I think there is that fear of like, if you're unscripted, unfiltered, that you have to have it together and you want to present a certain way because you're going to be scrutinized by the internet. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
The internet's going to scrutinize you no matter what. They're going to say you're doing it wrong. You're saying wrong things. You're saying like too much. Your coffee this is a thing. I'm like, it's just, again, it's whatever. Like they're engaging with you. They're walking into this and they're saying, this is what you're going to get. Stumbling, bumbling people like me.
Stumbling, bumbling. It's true. And I think that it's okay that's a hard thing is like, so I got off of Instagram a couple years ago where I was like, I'm not looking at this ever again. And
You brought that up twice now.
I
So
know
are you like trying to make
I'm
people
virtue
feel?
signaling because I'm better than everyone. The reason I'm bringing it up, I'm very much back on it now. But when I was off of it, I was like, okay, this is so great because I'm not being like poisoned by the, comparison and all that stuff. But there were a lot of things that I missed, like really, really good ideas for like this life season I'm in with my 3-year-old. How do I, get through this thing? I would find people on Instagram posting about stuff like that. And it's the same thing with like, just the season that we're in now. I love seeing what other people are doing. It's inspiration as opposed to comparison. You know what I mean?
Know what you mean?
So that's how I feel about that.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. Cookie?
Ooh, I love the crookie.
Cookie.
The crookie crumbles. Do you want to wrap up this whole topic?
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
I'm thinking, I think we kind of rounded about. There's many things that we said, so hopefully there's some nuggets you can latch onto there.
I mean, there are.
But, I appreciate you. And I
Thanks.
love that we, as far as comparison goes, I like us.
When it comes to comparison, we're my favorite.
We're my favorite. I feel like we should call your sister in these moments where it's like kind of downtime.
What do you mean downtime? We've done nothing but ramble and get off track
I
this
know,
entire
but it'd
time.
be kind of cool to see.
It's not down at all. Well, thanks for tuning in, you guys. This is going to be short and sweet
Let's see if
version.
she's down.
All right. No, don't call her. This is short and sweet version. Thanks for.
Is there any other thoughts you have though?
I mean, it's one of those things
Do not
that
open that door,
we
River.
said some
Do
things
not
that
open that door.
if you talk into the mic, it's going to show the door, and he is very much ready for bed, so we don't want to show that. But we didn't have like
If you
a
have,
ton.
wait, we have a viewer right now. If you're viewing us right now, put a question you would like us to speak to. We will talk to you.
You don't make them come up with a question. That's putting them on the spot.
Little lost, but great podcast. Cyrus,
I'm a little lost.
Cyrus, put a question in for us.
It's
Any
so
question.
true.
Any
because
question.
It's
Just put a question in.
you can't be like, I'm lost but great. But it's not a great podcast if the viewers are lost. Listen, here's the thing. Usually in the Afterthoughts episode, we are trying to just circle back to some things we had talked about on Tuesday. But tonight, I, for some reason, was like, yeah, boys, you can stay awake and put yourselves to bed And they are like, yeah. And I was like, please don't come into my room because we're recording the podcast. And they said, we won't. And so they are knocking at the door.
Are we choosing ourselves over? Oh, here's a question.
No,
One sec,
it's not.
Hey, Kim Russell's on. Kim Russell.
Hi, Kim.
Hi, Kim.
It's not
Probably gonna hop off in a second, but
Listen,
she's here. She joined us last night too. You know that?
amazing. She's
Kim,
incredible.
If you have any questions for
My
us,
hero.
please ask us. We'll be real.
Listen, I know this thing is off the rails. I'm aware of it.
Okay.
We usually wait.
Okay.
We usually are a little bit more on track. Is all I want to say. Right now, we're all over the place.
Okay, here we go. What's a great example in your marriage that would be good for young people to know?
A great example of what? A great
Yeah.
example in our marriage for young people? Like an example of like overcoming something difficult or having a hard conversation, maybe? Or just like a tip, just a tip
Just
in
a
general.
tip for young people. Are you thinking about getting married, Cyrus? Is that what you're thinking? Well,
Kim says hi.
Hi, Kim. I think Kim has more advice on this than we do.
I know. Kim, drop it in the chat. What's your advice for young people about marriage?
I would say marriage is not about happiness.
I think that's great.
You will become happy as part of marriage, but it's not the focus. If you're getting married for happiness, watch out.
Oh, watch out.
Watch out.
That's a good tip. I agree with that. In
Because-
fact, expect to suffer is what I would say. It's just the way that it is. I would say
I would say there's joy to be had in marriage. It does have great times, but the good times don't last.
we don't have to be like that downer about it.
Maybe that's the
Spot
first
like
thing.
this.
Maybe I should give you the advice. Get off the video games.
No, well, your wife is going to say that to you, so you may as well hear it from us first. I think that that's a good answer. I'm going to take my turn with this.
So married to be sad, he says.
I'm going to take my turn with this.
Okay.
May I?
You may.
You've been going and going and going and
Sorry,
interrupting, and this is one of those things that we talk about. Can I answer the question?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to read. Kim says, marriage isn't about what you can get, but what you can give. Leave the desire.
Love.
Nope. Love is the desire to have. It's so tiny. Love is the desire to have the best for the other. I love that. I think that's a really good answer. Kim, drop the wisdom, Kimberly. I love it. It's true. I agree. I think that here's my answer. My answer is similar to you.
But look at Cyrus. So married to be sad.
So married to be sad? Kinda. No, it's not.
No.
I think that you obviously, here's the thing. You obviously marry a person that you're really excited about, that you love, that you find enjoyable, that you laugh with, all the good things. But you cannot marry for those reasons. And this is what's hardest for people to grasp sometimes in marriage and premarital counseling. You need to be ready to marry the parent of your future children. You need to be ready to marry the sick version of this person, the aging version of this person, the one who needs surgeries, hospital visits, the one who is a sinner, who has a lot of things that they have not worked on, because so much of who we are does not come to light until you are married, because this is your first time where your marriage is so unique. It's not like roommates where you live with somebody and they point out things. You learn a lot from having roommates that are not your family. When you live with someone who's not your family and they are choosing, marriage is so unique. They choose to be with you and be your partner. And there's so many things about yourself that you come to realize where you're like, oh man, like I have things I need to work on. And this person has things they need to work on. And here's where I'll land it. The reason that I knew I wanted to marry you, Jeremiah, is because you were a person who was willing to work on himself. And you were a person who was willing to admit his own wrongs and admit your faults. And if you're willing to do that, it almost doesn't matter how many faults you have.
Yeah.
It almost doesn't matter how deep
Absolutely.
that goes, because I know that Jesus is going to have an impact on your heart, and that I have the freedom and the ability and the honor and the privilege to point out, here's how you could be more Christ-like, and you will receive it. And if you are not with a person who's willing to receive that from you, it straight up is not going to work out.
It's hard. It's hard when you're with a person that's you're just like grinding against each other, right?
Mm.
You're not getting through to them.
Mm-hmm.
You're like hitting a stone wall, and
Uh-huh.
having the ability to speak to someone and them to receive it.
Yeah.
That's ultimately, that's not me. That's not, I think that is Jesus softening my, not, I
Mhm.
know it's Jesus softening my heart
Yeah.
to receive criticism, to receive rebuking, to receive those things from you. It ultimately has to be Jesus. And I
Mhm.
think that's where you need to start in a marriage, is Jesus. I want to encourage everyone because when you start to live a life for someone else, we can see that example, and we see it done well through his life. And we see that when you lay down your life for your spouse and you give up everything for them, ultimately you find life, you find fruit, you find joy. You have, and it's not that you find it, it's kind of just, it's a natural outcome, was it producing of the fruit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's what makes marriage so great. Marriage is not, don't marry to be sad. Okay. It's not that. But you have to marry knowing that you're not getting married in order to find your eternal joy in this person, because you won't. And like, you will be failed. You will fail them, and you will be failed. And it's about, how do we respond in those situations as life partners?
Mm-hmm. Again, that key word right there: partners, partners, partners.
Teamwork
Makes the dream work.
So that's what we got.
Man, we had some interaction today.
Man,
I love it.
Love it. Love
keep,
it.
Keep dropping your questions in the chat. We love interacting with you. That's partly why we go live, is so that you can get more unscripted from us.
Unscripted.
Oh,
unscripted.
I'm scripted
we're
for
unscripted.
because we're unscripted. So we're gonna give you our, not maybe the best advice, but you're gonna get some good advice. I'd say decent advice.
You're gonna get the advice that worked for some Trujillos. Okay.
Yeah, if a Trujillo can get through it, you can get through it. Shout out to my siblings.
And man, and to the slow osmosis of me becoming a Trujillo, no matter how much I resist it and fight it.
And that is true. Am I becoming more like you at all, though?
God, I hope so.
I think I'm more blunt because of you.
You know what? I think that you've worked a lot harder on your enunciation and how you speak, slowing down.
My grammar has greatly improved. You should have saw the text messages I
saying
sent her.
less words, with more impact. That's a big one for you. It's like, not to just continue to try to over explain and then it's confusing. Just to simplify what you're saying. I feel like I've tried to teach you in that, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've done that well. And yeah, I'd say that we become like each other in a lot of ways, or at least like accommodate each other.
We accommodate each other.
Yeah,
as you should. As a good partner, you're going to
Mhm.
be pushing each other's boundaries to become greater.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
sure.
Why not?
We
Yes.
just dropped some quotes. We're going to drop some quote bombs right now.
Yeah. Go ahead. Let's hear it.
The greatest thing is to be loved.
The greatest thing you'll ever learn
Is to be loved.
is just to love and be loved in return. And
Yeah.
also, I just really believe that like the grass isn't greener on the other side. It's green where you water it.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely.
And also, like, if you should just treat other people the way that you want to be treated.
Absolutely.
Love
is all you need.
Love is all you need.
All you need is love.
And also, love is a battlefield. And
Telling me.
it went from inspirational quotes to song lyrics really fast.
Yeah, your body's a wonderland.
Stop. We're not going. Don't go into those kinds of songs.
That's part of marriage too, Cyrus.
God bless them.
God
Okay,
bless you.
here we go. Let's land this darn thing.
This is the plane.
Let's land
Everyone,
the plane.
this is the plane. This is the plane, and we're gonna go. Whee.
Let's land it. Let's land it nice and smooth. All right. And
I like going into your frame.
oh, You're welcome in my frame. You're welcome in my frame anytime. Like anytime. It's fine. I'm fine with that.
You're such a beautiful woman. All right, we'll land it. Thank you guys for watching.
Enjoy. Thank you for enjoying with us on this wild journey that probably should not have been live or posted, but
We're
here we are.
unscripted. We're truly living up to unscripted.
This is the unscripted
This is-
podcast. So unscripted family.
This has been the most unscripted episode,
Like, yeah. And
but we're getting a flow for it.
deteriorating quickly as we speak.
We're getting a flow for it.
All right. Everybody's done. People
Okay.
already scrolled away.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Why'd you do
Oh, we're still live.
this? Wrong